All right. Hello, everybody. Welcome to week 3 of Soch 200. I'm going to kind of just present a quick overview of 3, which is the week we are just starting today, or yesterday, I guess. Today, actually, and and kind of set the stage for the week to come. And there is a quick update, so I'll start with that. Office hours this. I'm going to need to move from 3 p.m. to 2 p.m. on Wednesday. So you'll get a another notification or invite Tuesday night, Wednesday morning to that effect. It will indicate 2 p.m. will be the new office hours time. That will be the new time moving forward from this point. And again, these are optional. If you can't attend, there's no penalty or anything like that. If you can attend but you do want to meet with me, you just need to reach out to me, and we'll find a time on a different day, a different time, even on the weekend if that's all we can do. So just need to reach out to me and we can make that happen. As far as grading is concerned, last week we had the holiday, and so the grading was kind of off by a day. I plan on starting to enter the discussion grades and comments today, hopefully fairly soon here. I'd like to get those finished by tonight, and if possible, start on the assignments and try to get those finished by tomorrow. Worst case scenario, Wednesday morning. So by the time the office hours starts, the grade book should be completely up to date. And again, that'll be the schedule as we move forward. That's going to be the plan to have all the grades up to date by Tuesday night or Wednesday morning. Okay, so this week we get into a couple different but somewhat related topics from the macro and the micro perspective. One is global stratification, essentially the ways in which the global nation states are organized and structured, and why that's the case, and who that benefits, and what that means. And it's just like we have within society, we have higher level, middle, and lower. And typically, the higher level nations are the richest. The middle nations are kind of struggling to get into that group, but are kind of also struggling to stay out of the lower levels. And the lower levels are generally very poor, and in many cases just provide resources, natural resources that are taken by some of the richer nations and used in their economies. So what all that means. Is there a better way to organize things? Is there a better way to structure the world? Those are some of the broad macro level topics you'll kind of get into this week. Do want to segue into the assignment, though. The assignment's a little different from what we've been used to or become used to in the first few weeks. The assignment this week is a presentation. However, there's a catch, and you'll probably be happy about this. You will not actually have to give the presentation. You'll just have to prepare the presentation. So it's the hypothetical scenario. The general topic is nonverbal behavior, and which is a very important concept within sociology. And you'll basically be choosing a country. I'll give you a list. You can choose one not on the list if you like, but I'll be giving you a list. Choose a country, and you'll research that country and try to prepare this hypothetical group that you're presenting to try to prepare them for what they'll experience. And you'll need to inform them on various aspects of nonverbal behavior, gestures, norms, taboos, positive and negative social sanctions, folkways, mores, so forth. Gestures are probably what we think of most when we think of nonverbal behavior. Not to be crude, but if somebody, puts their middle finger up and points it at you, I think probably everybody who views this video will know what that means. They don't need the verbalization to accompany it. If somebody points their middle finger at you, you can translate that into actual words. That's a gesture that has meaning. People in society know what that meaning is. And so, but what we need to be clear about is that meaning is dependent on that society. The middle finger may mean something completely different in a different culture and in a different society. So that's part of this. What gestures do we take for granted can have major ramifications if we use them in a new environment. Norms are just rules of behavior. These are things you don't even think about until they're violated. For instance, when you go to meet somebody, at least before COVID, when you went to meet somebody, you would hold out your arm, and this would imply, hopefully the other person would understand this, but this would imply that you were going to shake hands, and this is how we greeted new people. But you had to learn that. You're not just born with that knowledge. And if you've never shook someone's hand and never interacted that way, somebody comes up to you and points their arm and shoots their arm at you, you might take it as a threat. You might just be confused. What does this mean? In our culture, it means you are meeting somebody and interacting with them, and it's a form of a form of friendship and a way to forge a connection with somebody else. Folkways and mores are types or levels of normative behavior. So folkways are minor things. You know, if you violate them, no big deal. Might get a weird look. Somebody might make a joke about you. Not the end of the world. A more, much more serious. If you violate that, you might go to jail, might get ostracized, might lose your job. So a good example to make this point: if you go to if you're invited to a formal dinner party, let's say, and you're supposed to dress up, maybe as a man, I'm supposed to show up with a tie and a suit jacket. Maybe I show up with my suit jacket. I'm relatively well dressed and you know, have good hygiene, but I just forget to wear a tie. Not a big deal. Probably still can come in to the dinner party. Someone might make a joke about it. Some snooty person might make a comment. That's probably the extent of it. If I show up to that same dinner party and all I'm wearing is a tie and nothing else, there's going to be more serious ramifications. I will probably not be allowed into that party. I might be arrested. I will probably be looked at very differently from the group that witnessed that. And so, not wearing a tie, that's a folkway violation. Not too big of a deal. Only wearing a tie and showing up, you know, completely new to a social function, that's a violation of a more against publicly, you know, being nude in public, and that's much more serious. A taboo, you've probably heard that term before. A taboo is a very, very serious violation that we just don't cross in society, and most people agree that that's not what we do. So a taboo is in American society, cannibalism, for instance, incest. Those would be examples of taboos. People who violate those taboos suffer serious ramifications. They're ostracized, they're imprisoned, might even be executed. And then sanctions. Those are the positive and negative ways in which people respond to your behaviors or your gestures and so forth. Anyhow, so those are just a quick kind of overview of what you'll be dealing with in the presentation portion of the assignment. If you have any questions about that, and again, you can't attend the office hours, let me know. Again, because this is a new sort of thing, you're doing a PowerPoint and not an essay. So just remember that. And remember, you're not actually presenting this. You're just preparing the presentation as if you would be presenting it. All right. So on that note, we'll call this quick overview to a close. I'll see you all in the class this week, and good luck to all of you. And hopefully I'll see some of you in office hours. Have a good day.